crafters, so today's video is a fun one, and this one's going to be old school crafting, kind of with a modern twist. So here's what we're going to do. This is I'm not making the card today. I'm making this embellishment. I'm going to zoom in because I want you to see this embellishment. I think it is really neat. I'm going to get it really close. Now I told you guys before, I do not like loose glitter. Can you see that? I'm not into loose glitter. I don't think it's focusing. Let me hold still. Okay, so you can see the shine. See the shine? And no loose glitter anywhere. And I'm going to show you how I got that embellishment today. That's what we're going to do for today's Crafting It Old School. This is pretty much free-handed. What I did to start with was I took black cardstock and I cut this heart out using my quarter method. If you haven't seen the quarter method, I'm going to get my change over here. This is the quarter, and if you watch the video that is Crafting It Old School, the very first one will teach you how to do the quarter method card, and I'll link it in the bottom bar below. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. So here's what I did. I'm going to show you the heart first. This is the heart I cut out using the quarter method. Then I also free-handed a pair of lips because I thought they were cute. So the heart and a pair of lips, and I put them with some removable adhesive onto this is a cereal box, and I like to use these for different things, so I just temporarily adhered them down to a piece of chipboard or scrap, whatever you have. Now the trick for today's card: nail polish. This is the most beautiful nail polish color. It is by Sally Hansen. It's the extreme wear, and it is called Red Carpet. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I used to paint my nails all the time, but just recently I've just kind of gotten out of it. And it had this nail polish, and I thought, I really wish I could use it. So this was the idea. If you have stickles, or if you have, liquid glass, or if you have glossy accents, you wouldn't necessarily have to use this. But for old school crafting, this is what we're going to do. So I took my nail polish, and on my piece of black cardstock, and you don't have to use really expensive cardstock for this either. If you got some scraps or something that you just don't love, go ahead and use it. And then I just painted this on really. The first coat I did pretty thin, and then I got thicker as I went. So I'm just going to paint this. This is this is the quarter heart, so it's the bigger of the three I made. You can remember I made the quarter heart and I made the nickel and dime, and I'll show you some I did with that too. Now the one thing I would suggest, I don't know this because I haven't tried it, but I would think that using that quick dry nail polish is not the best way to go, because you have to kind of move this around a little bit on the paper to get a good smooth. And I'm afraid that quick dry, I don't know that though. If that's what you got, try it. It can't hurt anything, and I don't buy expensive nail polish anyway. So there's the first layer, and you can see how it's kind of messy, but you can see the glitter. Let this one dry, nice and dry, and that's don't put a really thick coat the first time. You're going to love how these lips turn out. They are so cute. I can't wait to show you the finished product on those. Haven't put them on a project yet. I just want to show you what I created. So let's just get this on here. The first coat's just kind of utilitarian. It's just kind of to get a good coat on there and wait on the next coat. So you do that, and then you let them dry. So I'm going to move them aside. Okay, I'm going to bring in, this is my nickel and my dime heart. I did this with a nickel and dime, and you can see that I've already painted these, and they look a little messy kind of right now, but when we finish, you'll see how they kind of clean up. Now the next thing you're going to need is some clear polish. This is my clear polish, and this one I'm actually using, which I probably wouldn't use this normally, but this is what I had, and it's by Essie, and it is their clear top coat called Good to Go, so it's kind of a quick dry. And what I would suggest at this point, I kind of learned this from trial and error, I would remove these from your backer at this point. Just because, and I'm not gonna, I'm using tweezers, but I'm not pressing down on the actual product, I'm just sliding these underneath. I'm gonna remove these from here, like this. Okay, what I'm going to do is just bring in a piece of regular chipboard, and I don't have adhesive on the back of these hearts now. I'm just going to sit them down like this, and I'm going to put the clear coat on them, and I want to put this pretty thick. That's why I say I probably wouldn't use an expensive clear coat, but since this is all I had, it's what I used. You want to work quickly, and put it on thick, especially on the edges, and make sure you get the edges. One thing I noticed was if I take them close to my work lamp, which I'm not doing for the video, but if you get them close to the work lamp, you can really see where this clear is going. And you kind of want it to build up, you know, and be kind of thick. Now, this one is not one of those, you know, instant gratification projects, unfortunately. This is one you're going to have to let this dry, almost cure. But, you know, if you're using liquid glass or anything else, we have to let those cure too. But for those of us who don't have those products, we all pretty much have nail polish. And then I'm going to move this to my light just to see how it looks for just a second. And see, when I took it into the light, which you might can see it on camera, but I could see that this edge was not done very well. You want to work quickly, especially if you have something like this top coat that dries fast. That looks better. All right, I'm just going to do the other one. Now I also want to mention that whenever I'm going into the clear coat, I'm dipping the brush into the clear coat, lifting it out, and I'm not wiping it off like this. I'm not taking it off. I'm actually dipping it in, bringing it out, and then just kind of letting that clear coat drop and just move it around a little bit. Again, put it into the light so you can see where it landed, and I can see this edge needs a little more. All right, the important part is to sit these aside and let them dry, and do not touch them. And they really have to dry. You know how whenever you think your nails are dry and you touch them and you leave a fingerprint? The same thing can happen here. So let these dry. I suggest if you're making a project for somebody, you know what you're going to use them for, maybe make them the day before and let them really cure, just like you would if you're using liquid glass or something. So I'm going to move these aside now. I'm going to bring the project back in and just kind of tell you what I did here. On this card, I actually took a piece of black cardstock and I cuddlebugged the bottom half with the swirls folder, and then put a little piece of ribbon in the middle, and this is the embellishment. And if you see, I took it and I adhered it down to some white cardstock, and then I just freehand cut around the edge to make it really pop. It's so glittery in person, but no glitter is going to rub off on you. There won't be any in the envelope or anything, because that is what I don't like. But let me show you these guys, which, like I said, I haven't used them yet, but look at these. They are so cute. And I want to tell you what I did. I took a piece of chipboard and I just cut out the shape of a pair of lips. And I wanted to show you, but I've moved them. But I cut out a shape of lips, just freehanded a shape of lips. And then adhered these down using temporary adhesive onto another piece of chipboard, just like this one. Painted them, just like we did. And then I put the top coat on them. Now with these, I don't think these are dry yet, so I don't really want to touch them, but the only thing I did different to these is when I took them off the first piece of chipboard, I actually adhered it down and then cut around that so it made it double thick. I don't know if you can see how thick that is, but you don't have to do that. These were actually done on chipboard, not on paper. So if you want to change that up and just use the chipboard instead of paper, you can. But isn't that cute? And that is a really cool, I'm going to let me get it into the light a little bit. I hope you can see how glittery that is, because it is really sparkly. Really cool idea. It looks like you spent a fortune on some little embellishment that you didn't. So if you guys are looking for something fun and maybe you don't have exactly what you need, figure out a way to make it and use your products. Like I said, these products right here are affordable. I think this is like 99 cents to $2 in the store. Of course, like I said, this is a more expensive top coat. I wouldn't have used this one if I had a Sally Hansen. I would recommend that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little idea, and I hope it opens up a whole world of possibilities for you. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.